If you're right, you'll win the cash on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you. Terrific end of week audience. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. You're delightful. Thank you. Our poem, a very good poem, sent in by... Hello there. What is this? We got a choir on. That's terrific. Justine Whitetrack of Saratoga, New York, sent in that poem. Thank you, Justine. We have a game in progress right now. We're starting game number 2 of a best 2 out of 3 match, so let's get to the cards. Janice and Ann, if you will, load in the cards. Same 2 decks of cards we played the first game with, and we'll meet our players on Card Sharks. Hello there. Kathy Doty. Hi, Kathy. Could you remind us about yourself?
My name is Kathy Doty. I am a first grade teacher and I live in Mission Viejo, and I enjoy most sports, especially volleyball and skiing and tennis.
How are the first graders to teach? Are they good?
They're a challenge.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Kathy. A challenge, yes.
Very, very much.
And our challenger, this is Larry Levy. Hello, Larry. Nice to meet you. Would you tell us about yourself?
I'm a sales manager for a major publishing company. I play tennis, a little bit of racquetball, make some stained glass windows, and I'm a gourmet cook.
Gourmet cook. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Gourmet cook.
Right.
What did you cook for dinner last night?
I knew you were going to ask me. I ate out.
You ate out. Good luck to both of
Thank
you.
you.
Each player has his or her own deck of 52 playing cards, shuffled and cut before we go in the air. Kathy, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. Kathy is a challenger, and so is Larry. I forgot we retired a champion. We have 2 challengers. Kathy plays the red, Larry plays the blue. Before you can begin to call the cards, you must first win a high-low toss-up question. As we left off, Kathy, the question goes to you. Remember, best 2 out of 3. Larry won game number 1. You need this game, Kathy. Yeah, you know Robert Redford is considered as a great sex symbol, right? Mm-hmm. So we asked 100 women, would you be turned on by a nude centerfold of Robert Redford? How many women said they would be turned on?
Oh, I think he really is a big sex symbol, and I think I'd say 75.
75 women would be turned on by a nude centerfold of Robert Redford.
I think a lot of women like Robert Redford, but I'm not sure they'd be turned on by a centerfold. They might be disappointed. I'd say it's lower. I'd say it's lower.
Do you have any inside information
No,
we should know
I
about?
don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
The actual number of women who would be turned on by a nude centerfold of Robert Redford is 18. Very much lower. Larry, wow.
All right. Okay.
Well,
make it a good one.
your base card is a 5.
5.
You can change it if you'd like. You won the question.
Change it. I want to change it.
And you
Give
must
me a good
play
one.
this one.
All
A great
right.
change
See,
to an
I
ace.
knew. Lower. The next one's lower.
Lower than an ace. Yes, it's an 9.
I'm going to freeze. I'll
And we'll
freeze.
freeze it, move the
Play
freeze bar
cautious.
over. Can't take those cards away from you. And of course, you've kept Kathy away from her cards. Larry, we polled 100 down. We asked them, if Jimmy Carter ran for re-election tomorrow, would you vote for him? How many people in Plains, Georgia said they would vote for Jimmy Carter?
Well, that's really difficult. I don't know how many registered Democrats there are and how many relatives
As
he
I
has.
recall from the past show, there are less than 400 people in
That's
Plains,
right.
Georgia, so we polled 100 of them. We got most of them.
I would say 65.
65 said they'd vote for Jimmy Carter, Kathy.
I think he's a favorite son candidate, and I think, now this is just in Plains, Georgia, right?
Plains,
in the
Georgia.
city. I'm going to say higher.
You say higher than
Right.
65 would vote for
Right.
Jimmy Carter. The actual number of people in Plains, Georgia who would vote for Jimmy Carter is 57, not higher. Larry. Well,
Change it. Change it. And make it a good one.
Have the
Another
right to
ace.
change a 9, and he does to a
all
queen.
right, all right. I say it's lower.
Lower
It's
than
lower.
a queen. Oh no, it's an ace, not lower. And good thing you froze there. We can't take you back any further than that. Kathy, you'll play a 7. You didn't win the question. You have to play it.
Okay, 7 isn't a very good card, but I'm going to say higher.
Higher than a 7. Yes, for the big ace.
Oh, great. Okay, I need this game. I'm going to say lower.
Lower than an ace. It is a 4,
Great,
very much
okay,
lower.
and that's a great card. I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 4? No, it's a 2. And you lose all 3 cards back to the base card. And Janice fills in the spaces. We go to the next question to you, Kathy. We asked 100 window washers who work on skyscrapers in New York City. Have you ever fallen off your scaffold? How many window washers had fallen off the scaffold?
I don't know. I know years ago my grandfather was a window washer, and they used to have accidents all the time, but I'm going to say 35.
35 have fallen off the scaffold, Larry.
I don't think you'd have very many window washers left if 35 had fallen off. I'll say it's lower.
You say lower.
Lower.
The actual number of window washers who'd fallen off the scaffold and lived to tell about it is 11. It's lower, Larry. Yes.
I'll try it again, and I'll say that it's lower.
Yeah, 11. That'll teach them to step
Yes.
back and admire their work. Larry, you've got a
Make
queen.
it
You've
a
got to
good
keep
one.
it. And you say lower.
Lower.
Lower than the queen.
Oh,
Yes, it's
all
a 10.
right. All right. I'm going to freeze.
You'll freeze.
I'm going to freeze.
Why are you freezing there, Larry?
I have my reasons. I'll tell you later.
Could it possibly be that we have sudden
Yes,
death coming up?
yes.
Someone has to win on this play of the cards. Larry, we asked 100 people, do you believe the Loch Ness Monster really exists? How many people said yes?
Oh my gosh, no one's seen it, but I tend to believe that it exists. I would say 38.
38 people said the Loch Ness Monster
Yes.
exists, Kathy.
Wow, that's really tough. There have been people who have seen it, and I know there's been pictures taken of it. I'm going to say higher.
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 The actual number of people who believe the Loch Ness Monster exists is 35. Not higher. And again, Larry has control.
That's dynamite.
Now, Larry, with sudden
Yes.
death, you have the right to change it and try to turn these two cards over. But if you make a mistake, Kathy wins. However, you can force Kathy to play off the 7. She cannot change it. She would have to turn all 4 cards over to win. Your decision. Play it or pass it.
Being a gentleman, I'm going to pass to
You're
the
going to
lady.
pass it.
Yes.
Okay.
Kathy, you've got a 7. If you can turn 4 cards over, we've got a tie. If you make one mistake, Larry wins the championship and goes to the money cards. Call this.
Okay, I'm going to say higher.
Higher than a 7.
It's got to be higher.
It is.
Oh, that keeps me alive. I'm going to say lower.
Lower than a queen. Yes, it's
Great.
a 6. Halfway there.
Oh, a sick, terrible, terrible card. I'm going to say higher.
Higher than a 6. Yes, it's a 10. 1 to go.
Okay, now 10 is tough. I'm going to say lower. Lower,
This is lower.
please.
We've got a tie. If not, Larry
Lower.
wins it.
Yeah!
She did it with 4 cards. Tying up the match. Great comeback. We're tied 1-1. We'll play the tiebreaker right after this. Match going, and Kathy with 1 game, Larry with 1 game, and now let's get set up for the tiebreaker with just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. And the question as we left off goes to you, Kathy. We asked 100 people, if your neighbor's magazines were put in your mailbox by mistake, would you keep them or return them? How many people admitted they would keep them?
I don't know. If my neighbor's magazines were put in mine, I would take it over to their house and give it to them.
Isn't that nice?
I know. I'm a very good neighbor, I guess. I would say 15. We say
15
really
would
low.
keep them.
15 would keep.
What do you think, Larry?
I will admit to keeping some magazines. I'd say it's higher.
You say higher?
Yeah.
The actual number of people who said they would keep their neighbors' magazines rather than return them is 22. It's higher, Larry.
Okay.
And that
Make it a good
important
one.
base card is at 9. You want it?
I want to change it. Give me a good one. Come on.
Here it is.
An 8.
Ooh.
Oh,
Tough
my
card to
gosh.
start with, Larry. Call this.
I say it's higher. I think it's higher.
Higher than an 8?
Yay! All right. It's got to be lower.
You're going to go for
It's
it.
got to be lower.
If
Make
this
it
is
lower.
lower, we have a new
Make
champion.
It lower.
No, it's not lower. It's another 10. And Kathy, you're still alive with a 9. Got to play it,
Okay,
Kathy.
I'm going to say... I'm going to say it's... Lower.
Lower than a 9. Yes, it's a 7.
Okay, I'm going to say it's... Ooh, should I freeze? I'm going to say it's higher.
Gonna go for
higher.
it.
Go
for the win,
it all.
higher than a 7. She did it! Congratulations, Kathy. Larry, right down to the
Great.
line.
Thank you.
And of course, you got $100 and some party gifts. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Kathy, come on down here. You were thinking of freezing on that 7.
No, oh, I'm so... I knew I was going to come back.
Excellent. I hope she wins a lot of money on the money cards coming up right after this.